This is Top Shop Podcast.
Shop Podcast.
Top Shop Podcast.
Podcast for automotive service business owners by Paul Donahue.
Hey, Top Shop Podcast listeners. We got a team here, partners. We got Martin and Chris Atkinson. They are co-owners of Willins. Willins is in Ferndale, Washington, very close to the Canadian border up there. They're in a good sized market. The Willins is a unique history. Not too many shops have been open with the same name since 1937. So can't wait to hear the story of how you guys ended up being the owners. Marcus has got 14 years. Chris over there to the left has got 20. So these guys got 37 years combined experience. So, and that's what we like to have on Top Shop Podcast. We want owners that have a lot of experience, so we can record it and we can save it forever. And then other owners can listen to your guys' experiences and hopefully help them out. So let's start from the top. How'd you get here? How'd you guys end up Willins?
My name is Christopher Atkinson. I am one of the owners of Willins Tech Auto here in Ferndale. I started out as one of the mechanics or technicians here at Willins Tech Auto. Worked for the previous owner, Ron, for a while, and then I became the lead technician, and he was graceful enough to offer us the opportunity to purchase the business and land and building from him.
Awesome. So how did you get into the auto repair industry? What made you, there's a lot of different careers. Chris, you first. I mean, what really drew you into the industry? And
well, I've been a car guy my whole life. In all honesty, I was one of those kids that every toy I had was a car, basically.
Took it apart, see how it worked.
Yeah. And I was the kid known for taking everything apart, whether it was a VCR from under the TV in the living room to the family lawnmower and making something out of it.
Did the lawnmower get put back together?
Yes.
Most of the time better.
Yes.
Most of the time better, yeah.
When I was 8 years old, I actually had to replace the transmission in our riding lawnmower because I wasn't supposed to be riding it when the babysitter was watching us, and we were pulling a trailer around with the neighborhood kids in the back, and
too many people.
Well, we weren't supposed to be using it, so Dad had hidden the pin for the trailer to attach it. So I found a nut and bolt, which was a little too long, and the nut vibrated off, and eventually it started to come out and got shoved through the back of the case of the transmission.
Oh my gosh.
So when Mom and Dad came home, it was in the middle of the driveway, and my responsibility was Dad would buy the parts and I had to put it back together with some guidance, of course.
Right.
From then on, we were just doomed. I was going to be a mechanic. And so I, at the age of 23, I had done some automotive jobs. I'd been a fabricator and built semi-trailers and that sort of thing, built movie dressing room trailers, ambulances, bomb squad vehicles for a local company here in Ferndale. And the economy crashed, 06, 07, the economy tanked. Yeah. And so I went back to school, and I am a Universal Technical Institute graduate. I am on the director's list, as they called it, honor student, basically. I got selected by Volvo as one of their manufacturers selected training. And so they sent me off to Phoenix, Arizona after my basic automotive training in Sacramento. They sent me off to Phoenix for Volvo training, which then I got hired out of Volvo training to a dealership in Colorado. And they sold and serviced Lamborghini, Aston Martin, Maserati, Jaguar, Volvo, Ford, Lincoln, Mazda. And I was a premier auto group technician. So I worked on the luxury side of the dealership and got to really get my hands dirty with some really, really, really sharp minds in the industry.
Okay, awesome. And you brought all that experience. So Marcus, let's hear from you.
Yeah, I mean, from an early age, I was right along with him. That's my big brother right there. So I was,
brothers.
Yeah, yep, we're brothers. That's my big brother. So, we were playing with Hot Wheels on the little car rugs, come to my shop. I'll fix your tires and I'll give you all, and we're going to own a shop one day, 7 and 10 years old, saying we want to own an auto shop someday. It was a dream of ours way back then.
When you're a kindergartner. Okay.
Literally, yeah, exactly. And so when he went off to school and stuff, I was still home. And when he came back from his Volvo schooling, he's like, "Hey, I got hired at a dealership in Broomfield, Colorado. Are you moving to Colorado with me?" And I
Broomfield.
was like,
Yeah.
"Broomfield, yeah. Silterhar Motors is where we cut our teeth."
Okay.
And yep, the dealership out there. And I moved out there, and soon I was working at the dealership at the Quick Lane on the Ford side, doing oil changes and tires and batteries, and working on a little bit on diesels and helping customers a little bit and learning the industry. And
Right.
and
Yeah.
for 4.5 years, that's what I did. Chris ended up getting injured for a little while and had to write service for the Ford side, so we were working together in the same side of the dealership. And 5.5 years later or so, it's time for us to kind of move back home to Ferndale, where all of our family is.
Right.
And really the rest is history. He started working for Willins immediately right after that because he could work on cars again.
Mhm.
Got healthy, and the rest is history. He started working for Ron. Ron offered him the shop. He came home to us and was like, "Marcus, this is our opportunity.
This is our chance.
This is our chance to do it." We didn't think it happened with Willins, our hometown, the auto shop in our
Yeah.
hometown.
There's no way
He
you
drove by.
It's like a story, It's like you could create movies about this type of stuff, and I don't want to say that lightly. It's an awesome opportunity that we got. So
Yeah.
And our families knew each other. Our parents went to school, and our uncle went to school with Ron's son,
yeah,
the old owners, and so our families have known each other for generations. I actually was really good friends all through since I was 3, 4 years old with one of Ron's nephews, another one of the Willins, and so it just kind of came full circle, and we're just doing the best we can,
extremely
and
grateful.
yeah, I'm trying to grow this place, really grow it, into something. It's hard to say better than it is when you're not almost 90 years old, but we're just trying to grow this place to be the best thing it can be.
Yeah. I've actually done a lot of reading on how when people that thoughts are things, and somehow when people set a goal or believe or expect something to happen, it happens in strange ways that you could never imagine. That's the story that I just heard.
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely. It was amazing. We never thought it would happen that way. It's
Yeah.
it's pretty crazy when we look back and think about it.
We
Tell
still
people like you and tell the story. It's like it's kind of surreal to us even still sometimes. It really, really is. So
Oh, and by the way, I lived in Dillon for 10 years.
Oh, cool.
nice.
Yeah. So I just moved to Utah here 3 years ago. So 3 years. Oh, next month. Yeah, March. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, we live right in like Westminster, the Arvada area, right
Yeah.
there.
Mhm.
And went commuted to Broomfield every single day for
Yeah.
well over 4 years. And
Yeah.
so
Know the Arvada area probably better than Broomfield, but yeah. So,
I have
but
a lot of friends out there still. as
Yeah,
well.
we know a lot of people out there still.
Yeah. So I'm an avid skier. So I lived in Florida for 33 years, and my best friend kept saying every now and then, "Hey, Paul, you ought to come out and go skiing." And one year I did, and then I grabbed him and said, "Why didn't you tell me to come out and go skiing?" Because I packed up all my stuff and moved to Dillon,
Nice.
So, but anyway,
Beautiful.
yeah, it is, and it's great to hear a story like that. So, and you, there's a lot of stories like this because there's so many shop owners today that they want to retire. They're looking to retire. There's a lot of there's a lot of shop owners that there's a lot of shop owners that are buying up other shops because they're looking around. Go 6 miles out from where you're at, and then draw a circle using Google Maps and look for shops out there because 90% of 90% of a shop's business comes from a 3 mile radius. So don't buy one that buy a shop. Look for a shop that's 6 miles out from where you're at now.
Right on the cusp. Yeah.
Yeah, and then what happens is a lot of times they're like, "Oh, you're interested in buying a shop," and you walk in and they're ready to hand it to you, because
and that's what we want to do.
That's our end goal.
That's our big goal.
Oh, is it?
Walking
Okay.
Yeah, Whatcom County, we want to be a multi-shop organization. We want to
Oh,
have
okay.
5 shops in the next 15 years or so. This is an end goal for us, and then we
Yeah.
want to create our little conglomerate, our own little empire, and
Yeah.
just really take care of the community better than they've ever been taken care of before. One of our mottos is not only honest car care from honest people, but you get a different kind of care with your auto repair.
Right.
We really want to exude that educational, that community first mindset that is like, you take care of people, everything else is going to follow suit.
It'll literally
This
fall
is
in
our
place.
hometown. This is a lot different than we moving from out of state to. This is our hometown. My great grandmother went to Ferndale High School. That's like 3 blocks that way.
Yeah.
We've been here for over 100 years, and so it's very important
We
to
have to
us
see these people at the dentist office, at the
the
grocery
grocery store.
store.
My kids go to school with
Yep.
their kids. It's
Yeah.
hugely important to us to make sure that we're taking care of people on a whole nother level than they have ever seen before in an automotive business. It's
Right.
taking care of people using automotive repair and maintenance, and that's how our outlook is.
Priority. Okay, awesome. Love what I'm hearing. So, how many employees do you have altogether?
Right now we have 5.
5. Okay, it's a typical shop. Most shops are 4 to 7.
Okay.
Is
Yeah, we
there
have four bays, so
Four
four
bays.
days. Okay, all right. So, culture. Any shops that stay around. They have good shop culture, and then that shop culture does spread out into the community. You have parts delivery people, they see what's going on at your shop, they hear the conversations, word gets around, so the really
yes.
good shops, they don't have tech shortages as bad as some other shops because sometimes they get someone to walk in the door and say, "Are you hiring?"
Yep.
Didn't work
That's
out.
what.
That's
That's you
what that's
guys?
what we
Okay,
get.
so that already tells me you guys have got great shop culture
Yeah.
without even knowing your shop because so it's already happening to you guys. So that's what I want the tips on. What tips do you guys have to help a shop owner create and maintain? Because this is the thing I've heard a lot. The shops have got they really focus on culture. They get a good culture going, and then they kind of look away, start focusing on other things, trying to grow their business, and all of a sudden they look back and culture has slipped like big time. So, do you guys have any tips for how you've created a good shop culture and how you maintain it?
Yeah, I mean, not going to say that hasn't happened to us. We've gotten laser focused before, and lost it, and had to come back and do that for sure. It happens to every shop, but I really just think it's the family atmosphere. Really, really caring about your people, presenting your core values and your guiding principles of what you're about and where we're trying to get, what the common goal is.
Hmm.
Is really it. And as long as we can all come to a collective agreement on what it is and helping the community and doing it the right way.
We have a real big team attitude here.
Yeah.
Everybody helps each other to accomplish the bigger goal.
Right.
As an owner, one thing I would say is make sure you're taking personal interest in your guys, in your team. One thing I try to do is I know what each of my guys' hobbies are, what they do in their spare time, what they,
Good.
or in some cases, what their wives do in their spare time, depending on the technician, because sometimes it's more important to keep the wife happy, the employee's
Yeah.
wife happy versus, or vice versa. But no, just really, we've got some guys that, one of our technicians is a younger guy and he's really into the magic cards. And so
Magic
He's like
card?
really, really
yeah,
good.
And he's really good at
Magic
it.
the Gathering.
Magic the Gathering, it's a card game. And it's
Wow.
been around since like the early 90s or 80s or something like that. And he's really into it. And so I've tried to take a big interest in that and just, ask him how it's going, that sort of stuff. We've put money towards him going to one of those competitions, and we covered his entry fees and things like that. We have another technician who's just really into cars and all of that. So we've helped him with, a few parts here and there and just talked him through a move, helped him pick a house, that sort of thing, gave him some guidance and real life guidance. And they really, they look at least we feel they look to us like family, like extended family, because
Yeah,
we're there for the better well-being of them.
we
Yep.
want to be a leader for them. We want to provide them. We network a lot and we meet a lot of people in different avenues and different industries. And so when he came to us with like, "Hey, I'm looking for a house," it's like, "Hey, I got a lender for you." Yeah, what I was saying is it's really important to network. The more people you know, the more you can help your people. Like the guys were looking for a house, and I was like, "Well, I know a lender. You don't have to worry about looking for one that you can trust. I know one you can trust."
Personally.
Having those networks and those relationships outside of the shop here at Willins in the
Mhm.
community is super important, so we can provide that for our people too. So that's
Yeah.
another.
That's one of the top answers I get when with culture is treating, the staff, like family. Which makes it really hard when people go sour and you have to let them go, or whatever.
Oh,
It makes it
We've
really,
been there.
really,
we're big
I'll bet.
softies. It's so
Yeah.
hard for us.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
so hard. I
But,
get more
but,
emotional than they do
yep.
every time.
But it's important because people's attitudes can get bad over time, and
They can
they
take
end
the
up,
culture out.
yep, they end up poisoning the team, and then and then whatever other employees see you allowing this one person to get away with, that's the new level. So yeah, so getting rid of people quick that aren't meeting that culture. Do you guys do anything with the team? Like, do you have a weekly breakfast or a lunch or something? I know a lot of shops do that. Do you guys do any of that or?
We
No,
don't do it as much anymore. We
Okay,
definitely need to get back
it's
into that.
something that's on our 2026 to focus list is the regular meetings. But I was going to
right.
say, we actually just had to go through something very similar to what we were just talking about with the culture poisoning. We had to let a technician go
Oh, you
because
did.
he was chronically late and was tardy,
Yeah.
chronically, and it was starting to bleed into everybody else to where you know, and so we had to separate ways with that employee, and since then we have not had a single attendance issue
Yep.
from anybody, and we
Yep.
had to realign that culture and realign those expectations, and once we did, everything was back to the clear sailing as far as the issues we were having with the culture being poisoned.
Yep. Yep. Because yeah, if you would have kept that person on, then they're like, oh, okay, well, they'll put up with this, so I can do it too. That's what
And
happened.
it was cyclical. It would get better for a while and it would get worse, and it would get better for a while and we'd have a
Okay.
talk. It's like, yeah, 4 years of this. It's like, yeah, unfortunately, we love you, dude, but hardest,
once a
hardest,
year once a
hardest thing
year
we can
he'd go
Right.
do.
through an attendance spurt, and it was, yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. So, hey, what are the biggest challenges that you guys feel that you faced since you took over Willens as owners? What are the
Oh,
biggest the challenges that you faced as owners?
I'll tell you my biggest challenge,
Okay.
especially right at the beginning, was just learning the backside of the industry, the business side of this
Fine.
industry,
Right.
where my money should be, what the numbers should
Our
be,
KPIs.
how
Mhm.
to take care of people, all sorts of stuff. My family owned a restaurant called Fat Shack before this for a couple years. We opened in 2017 and we had a couple of them and we've since sold them. But to focus on this, but I didn't have anything like this. We had to focus. I had to focus on learning the automotive industry as a whole.
Yep.
That was my biggest challenge. The best thing I did was find a coach right away to help
Okay.
me really establish. And then, 2019 when we took over, COVID
COVID.
hit right after the beginning of 2020,
That's right.
and we
Yeah.
were like, oh no, what did
we
we
were
do? What
we
did we
were
put
6
ourselves?
months in.
Oh,
Yeah, and
geez.
oh no, and
We
so
just
we
bought
kind
the
of
shop 6 months later.
luckily, 3 months prior, we hired ATI,
Okay.
Automotive Training Institute, at that
Yeah.
time. We were with them for 5 years,
Okay.
6 years or so. So, I mean, yeah, that was the best thing I did. The biggest challenge was just learning this industry and then really being able to take care of people at a people level after I learned what my numbers should be. It's really me.
Right. Okay.
I was still in the shop for the first 4 years because I was the lead technician when we purchased it.
Okay.
So I had to keep things rolling back there. We had one other technician at the time because when we purchased the shop, they were doing sub $400,000 a year
Okay.
sales, and we've been over $1 million since our third year in.
Okay.
So we had to focus on ramping it in production, and so I stayed and just stuck my nose to the grindstone and back, and Marcus ran the front of the house
Okay.
with ATI coaching and all of that, and it really did a lot for us. And then I had to, once I wasn't back there wrenching as much, then I had to learn, and then still every day we're
I
learning.
wanted him out of the shop as much as possible. Not only was ATI continuously telling me we need to get Chris out of there, we need to get Chris out of there, but our goal is to be business owners, and my goal wasn't to have Chris back there forever, And once it started really ramping up, I was like, bro, I need your help up front. Let's do this. Let's actually be business owners now.
Yeah.
And this was just a couple of years ago, and
Yep.
since the beginning of 2024, I really think we have kind of found our stride a little bit. We've plateaued, but we know what direction we want to be. We have our goals set long term, 15-year goals, and using the SMART goals and trying to figure out where we want to be so we can break it down and actually get there.
Yeah.
So, what are the major changes you've seen in the last 5 years in the auto repair industry? What are the biggest changes that you guys are seeing?
Educating customers, because how much vehicles have changed.
Okay.
They are not even near the same as they were 5 years ago. I mean, you know what I mean? Technology has come
Right.
so far that the average person is still driving a 4 or 5 year old car.
Right.
There wasn't Apple CarPlay and all these things, and overhead bird's eye view and all the ADAS calibration and all the smart features weren't really in cars to the extent that they are now, and getting people to understand the extent in which a vehicle operates. It's not just your camera that's out. When that camera goes out, it affects more than just that system.
Right.
As just an example, but
Sure.
educating customers on what they've already purchased is huge. And then the maintenance side of things to educate them into how they need to properly maintain their vehicles.
Okay.
Yeah, the digital vehicle inspections, I think, has changed the game. Obviously, the AI stuff in the last 18 months for sure has changed it even more drastically. But I think before COVID, I would say obviously I wasn't necessarily in here that long before COVID, but before then there was a lot of uncertainty with like, are they really telling me the truth? Like, where's the proof? How do I know that that my struts need to be done? And now with videos and pictures and all the captions and the arrows and the editing and the stuff that you can do with the digital vehicle inspections to actually show them this is where you want to look. Right here at this point right here is where you're looking. It helps so much just to educate. And then asking people, how long do you plan on keeping this vehicle? The average age of the vehicle is now 13 years old, or almost 12.8 or whatever it is now.
Yep.
And so like, you want to keep this car? This is only a 12-year-old car. Do you want to keep it for another 5 years? Because we can do that. We can help you do that.
Yeah.
So I think those are the biggest things.
Yeah.
Too.
My cars are 10 and 11. So
yeah, absolutely. My cars are 20. So
I mean,
I work from home, so I don't put a ton of miles on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Not going to rush out and get a new car payment when they're both paid for,
Exactly.
So I know this is conjecture, but I like asking the question. Where do you think the market's going? So we've been tried to, well, a lot of people, that are gullible, liberals, a lot of them, they're the Green Deal. So everybody thought, hey, we're going to do the electric cars and it's going to be good for environment. And that's what they sold us. But a lot of people weren't understanding it's not the Green Deal, like, trees and grass, it's the Green Deal. So the mining companies, and all that stuff. So there's been a whole bunch of, I'm sorry, you want something? So there's been a whole bunch of, they researched and they found out that the EV, actually, when they put the new car on the lot, it's already expended more carbon into the atmosphere than an internal combustion engine for the entire life of the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been saying that for a while.
Yeah. And then we've got hybrids, and then we've got, and I think I mentioned this on every podcast. I'm hoping for um, um, hydrogen.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a lot of different technologies. I think the hybrid technology is the closest thing that we've kind of come to a compromise. The EVs is not the answer.
Yeah,
It's
you
a
don't think
tool.
so
Like it's a
either? Yeah,
great tool for some people.
I'd
right.
also love to see what becomes of solid state batteries,
Yeah.
not lithium ion, because Samsung now is set to produce in 2027. They're set to start mass production of solid state batteries for electric vehicles,
And big equipment.
And big
which
equipment, like
which would totally change the whole battery game because they're not requiring on lithium ion. It's a solid core,
right,
and so they charge faster.
More
The chart,
efficiently.
more efficiently. The charges last longer. The
right.
lifespan, the shelf life of the
Off the
battery
battery,
is,
right?
I don't remember what I was reading, 100 times of a lithium ion or something ridiculous
Wow.
like that. But
And not to nearly the detriment of the environment when it's being
from the
built.
lithium
Not
mines
even
and all of that.
close.
Right.
So that I think is going to be a big game changer. They're also set to start after heavy equipment and EV side of it. They are going to try to push it to the laptops and cell phones and all of that as well. So we'll
Okay.
see how it goes.
That's an answer that I haven't heard so far. No one's mentioned better battery technology because you got to remember, Tesla is the Model A of the new era.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. It's the
Exactly.
only thing we know at this point right now. It's the standard. And so
40,
the
50,
standards always change.
you got it. 40, 50
Just like
years from now.
yeah, just like the technology in the last 15, 20 years for all the emissions and the standards for the cafes, even though they just rolled a lot of it back very recently, the cafe standards and stuff, all the emissions stuff has changed so long. So it just causes problems. So if we can get a better, more efficient way of doing that, I think EVs
Right.
will be okay,
Yeah, if we
Yeah.
can get
And
away from diesel and gas and internal combustion engines and all that
it's
stuff.
not going to go away completely.
Oh no,
That's the
not in our
thing.
lifetime. No way.
And easily
But
not in our lifetime. I don't think it will. It's just there's just gonna be different alternatives for it. It's not gonna go away completely. There'll always be a use for it.
yeah, no, I think that's a really good idea. What if we come up with a much battery technology, a better battery? And I had thought about that. I mean, we're in the Model A of electric, so we might come up with a completely, totally new battery technology that will be much more ecologically friendly to the environment in a way that you don't have to dispose of it later. You can just keep recharging it, or you can, do something with it. You can reuse it. So the battery
yeah.
pack
It's recyclable for sure.
recyclable. Yeah. So
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be yeah. That'd be
So
And they've been in the solid state batteries have been in talks and in works since I was actually in automotive school back in like 2008. We were getting trickles of solid state battery technology when we were just starting to hear about solenoid valve train that they used in like the F1 cars and prototypes and all of that. Koenigsegg has a solenoid driven valve train in a production car now. So there is no camshafts. It's all driven. Each valve has a solenoid that drives it up and down. So you have infinitely controllable valve timing. Um, and we were hearing and we were seeing. I was going to school with kids who were actually prototyping and engineering designs for systems like that.
wow. Yeah.
And so battery technology is going to, I think, and I'm not an EV guy
And
at
this
all.
was in
I,
like
I love a
09,
V8, a V8 with long tube headers and, all that. That's, my but
Right.
for the longevity of the automotive industry, I feel that's going to be a huge part of it. Do I think it's going to be all of it like he was touching on? No, the internal combustion engine is going to be a part of everyday life for probably 1 to 2 more lifetimes. Now, will it be as high of a percentage? Likely not.
Yeah, yeah. So, and hopefully we can be able to transfer and store hydrogen without, because it's very explosive. That'll be a great way. We already have the infrastructure; it's already there. So,
Yeah.
we'll see how that works out.
Yeah.
So, finances. Let's talk about money because ain't no shop going to make it 5 years, let alone 100 and something. So,
Right, almost 100, yeah, almost
yeah,
90.
yeah, right. Without,
89 this year.
yeah, you're getting there. So, so any tips on finances and how you guys, make sure that you keep good cash flow and, quick purchases? Any tips at all on finances and how you handle that?
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's tough. Let's just be real. It's tough managing cash flow and everything, especially coming into a business and industry that you didn't know. Just make sure we hired coach right away, so they definitely helped with everything. Profit first is huge, which we haven't fully implemented. Just saying profit first is huge, just knowing where your money's going, where it's coming from, and really know and love your numbers is really it. Know and love your numbers, and if you can understand where that bottom line dollar is coming from and
Hmm.
where it's actually going, whether you use it or not, whether it's staying in an investment account, the working capital account, whatever it may be. There's so many different ways. Just really find a coach that's really good with profit first and managing it, because I wasn't the best coming into this business, but
Yeah. So
it's
that
cool.
that's one of the top tips I get from every shop owner that has hired a coach. So I talked to one last month, 20 plus years in the business. He goes, "Why would I hire a coach? I've been running a shop for 20 years. I know what I'm doing." Hired a coach, doubled the sales in 1 year.
Yeah,
He said,
yeah.
"I didn't know what I didn't know." So
Right.
we personally recommend the Institute for Excellence, Cecil Bullard. So
They're amazing. They're amazing
that,
over there.
yep, they
Cecil
are.
and Kent and everything, they're really amazing over there.
That's why I recommend.
Our yeah, our inspiration lately, we almost went with them. Like, it was very, very close. We have had a really good relationship the last couple of years with Darren Barney,
Mhm.
and Tom Merrill from
Elite.
Elite Worldwide.
Oh, Elite. Yeah, I've heard of Elite.
Elite Worldwide, they're amazing
Phenomenal
people.
people.
Darren is his heart is it's just like us. Him and his brother, own Barney Brothers Off Road, and they started out just like us, man, scrapping together money, trying to figure it out, promising the family we wouldn't let it fail, things like that, and really taking to heart, taking care of people. The money will come later. People, this community is what matters. This community in Ferndale, and it's is a big mentorship and inspiration for me, especially the last couple of years.
Yeah, they're huge. On the finances side, we touched one tool that was brought to our attention by the coaching companies that we've used extensively.
Hmm.
It's called the win number drill. If you can find that, it tells you exactly what you need to basically break even. You put all your numbers into it, like what you're paying your guys, what your insurance costs,
Yeah.
everything. And it'll tell you what you need and exactly when you're starting to make money. And that is huge because we've used it a million times because things change in the shop. How many technicians do we have? How many
Yeah.
advisors do we have? And
And you can use it as a tool to show how you can ramp up. I want to make this much more. I want our sales to be this. I want our techs
hours
to
per
be
RO
this.
to be this.
And you can reset it and do it, and it'll show you this is the weekly sales you need in parts and labor. You put in all your percentage of shop supplies or what have you, what we want to put away in our retirement, if we want to put away as owners from the business. You put that all in there so you know what you want to get at the end of the year, so you know how much you need to raise in revenue for that year.
Okay.
Not only can
Your
you find the
goals.
break even win number
Yeah.
drill where you
And
start winning,
hit your
but
goal.
you can find the actual win number where we
Yep.
win as an organization and are able to expand. So it's a multi-level tool. Yeah, that's a great point. All the tools that we have too have really helped our finances. I have labor rate analysis tools, the win number tool drill, all of things that we've gotten from ATI and from Elite Worldwide. So it's really amazing. Find a coaching company. They'll
The,
really
the
help.
resources are worth it alone.
Network with all the other shop owners that have been doing this for a really long time.
We
We
just got
haven't
that.
owned the shop for a long time, but we've been in the industry for a while. And so it's one of those things to where finding the experts in the industry was so important to us, especially at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. So, either one of you guys got families?
Both of us.
Both of us. I have 4 kids and a wife.
Four. You have
And I'm
four.
I'm 36.
Okay. And Chris?
I have two, and of course, significant other. We aren't married, but two
Okay,
kids.
that's fine. So here's why I asked. Work-life integration. Let's talk about that.
I knew you were gonna ask that. Yeah. Work life. Brothers right
This
here.
helps right here.
Best friends, brothers, the
Yep,
camaraderie
and
we
it
have.
splits everything up. It makes, when one needs to go do something.
With the
Yesterday,
kids, right? Yeah.
yeah, our service manager was out yesterday. He had did some medical stuff to take care of, had to go to a doctor's appointment, so he took the day off. Me and
Right.
Marcus cover for him. And Marcus just, oh shoot, I gotta run and get the kids.
It's
Well,
4:40. All three of my kids have to be picked up from three different places at 4:45. Oh crap, what do I do?
yeah,
I have
and
to go.
no worries. I already told everybody I was going to be home at 5. You go, or wasn't leaving till after 5. You go get your kids. I'll close up the shop. So it really
Mhm.
works. We can work as a team.
He takes Wednesdays off every week since his daughter was born 4 years ago, he's taken Wednesdays off every week to spend time with her every week. And that was super important to him. So it's like, dude, make it happen. You get Wednesday off every week. I don't
Sure,
know.
sure.
I had the restaurant for a while, so I was gone a couple days a week from here for
Mhm.
multiple years. So it's like, no, dude,
Yeah.
those types of things, just being understanding and really just doing the right thing, making it work however we can.
And
We're family. We love each other. We're best friends.
yeah, not a lot of brothers are like that though.
No.
A lot of
No,
a
they
lot of brothers love each other, but we've been we were roommates for years. We've moved cross country together multiple times,
Talk about my true inspiration and mentorship. It's this guy right here. I'll be honest. Not I don't want to start crying or anything. I'm a
Yeah.
big softie. Surprised I haven't so far in this podcast, but this guy right, he's the reason why we have this opportunity. To be honest, so I want to make him proud. I don't want to let him down. He's my big brother, so it
And
puts
then
fire under my
the
ass.
exact mirror of that is that's my little brother. We have to make sure we're winning as a family. And in the end, it's not about me personally, it's about us. This is what we've wanted to do, and we've been brothers, best friends for 40 years
30,
for me, but 36 years.
36.
Yeah, I'm 40, he's 36. We may have butted heads as little kids because that's what brothers do, but since we're young teenagers, you couldn't separate us,
That
so
That's
helps.
cool.
it helps a lot.
Yeah, and it sounds like in the beginning you guys divided and conquered. So, Chris, you really took care of the shop. Marcus, you got into ATI and said, okay, look, I'm a technician. I've never been a leader and ran a business before. And so you smartly said, I don't know. And you
Yeah.
got coaching help. It's the number one thing when I ask, it's usually the last question I ask. You already know what your answer is going to be. What advice would you give to a shop owner just starting today? Get a coach.
Get a coach and network.
And network.
Network.
Those are the two things I've mentioned it multiple times. Network and
Yeah.
find a coach.
Because a
Those are the
lot
two
of
things.
shop owners were managing a shop or they were the lead technician, and the owner's like, look, I'll sell this to you, you take care of it. And then they transition into that ownership, but they don't know anything about being a leader and
Right.
books and accounts payable and all that other stuff. So it's
Oh yeah,
That was like
uh, yeah, like a sharp,
it
sharp.
still is.
it still is.
Yeah.
Not past tense. It's new every day.
So
Absolutely.
as far as like you're in a smaller community, so usually one of the questions I ask is how do you keep and retain your customers? But I think you've really already answered that question very thoroughly. You educate the customers. You're in a local community, and it's a top priority for you guys to serve your community better than any other shop. So I really want to thank both of you for taking your valuable time out of your busy shop and home lives to be on Top Shop Podcast. So, and I look forward to seeing you. You guys be at ATE this year? ATE Seattle. Gonna go?
Possibly. We're doing a couple other things. We're trying to go to the elite events and stuff. We're gonna try to at least send somebody
Okay.
From our shop.
but we're not quite sure yet. We only got a couple more days for the early bird at this point in
Right.
time in
Yeah.
history.
Yeah.
But
Get in.
yeah, we're gonna try. We're gonna go over some stuff and we're gonna see if we can for sure. Because you can learn so much from
Those
any
are
of
some
those
of our
events.
favorites.
Yeah.
So we've
Sure
been there the
can.
last 2 years. We're gonna try to send at least somebody.
All right. That's cool. All right. Well, listen, guys, we really appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you, Paul.
Absolutely. It's an honor.
Yeah, thank you so much for choosing us, and we want to do a lot more of these podcasts, and for you guys to reach out to us and want to do it after having the class with you at ATE, which was very informational, by the
Right.
way.
Yeah.
We really appreciate you, Paul. We appreciate what you do for the industry, and look forward to helping change the industry for the better, one little tiny town like Ferndale at a time. So
Sure. Yeah. And so there's just a quick plug. Any listeners, it's autorepair.seo.com. Go to the resources tab, and there are workshops in there on every subject you can imagine on digital marketing for an auto repair shop. I am working on my third book. I think you guys have a copy of this one, right?
yep, absolutely. I have a couple of
So
them. So.
I am working on the third book. It's Auto Repair Shop Marketing in the Age of AI: How to Future-Proof Your Shop.
I love
Awesome.
it. I love it. Look forward to it. I'll definitely.
So yeah, so we'll get that one out. So.
For additional automotive resources and exclusive content, follow us on Spotify and subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch all our episodes. Thanks again for joining us in the driver's seat, and we'll see you next time for another thrilling episode of Top Shop.